It was a group of 7 young men who lived in ancient times. They lived in a city ruled by a tyrannical king who did not believe in Allah. This king forced his people to worship idols and denied the existence of Allah. The 7 young men were named Maxilima, Yamlika, Mislina, Marnus, Jarunis, Dabaranus, and Kathrunis. One of them brought along a pet animal. They were faithful believers in Allah and refused to worship idols or obey the commands of the unjust king. One day, they decided to flee the city in search of a safe place to worship Allah. They found a cave located on the outskirts of the city and decided to take shelter there. Inside the cave, they spoke among themselves and agreed to hide there. They prayed to Allah, hoping for a way out from the oppression of the tyrannical and disbelieving king. And knowingly, Allah granted them protection. They fell asleep in the cave and remained in that state for 309 years. During those 309 years, they slept inside the cave, guarded by angels. No one knew the location of the cave during that time. Meanwhile, the city they had once fled transformed into a prosperous and peaceful place. The tyrant king had long passed away, and the people had become believers. When the 7 youths finally awoke, they had no idea they had slept for 300 years. They thought they had only slept for a few hours. They then decided to send one of them, Yamlika, to buy food in the city. Yamlika didn't know that money from 309 years ago was no longer valid in the market. Yamlika was astonished to see how much the city had changed and how its people had become believers. Yamlika returned to the cave and told his companions about all that had happened. They were all amazed and gave thanks to Allah for the protection and safety He had granted them. Some time later, they were summoned by the king, and they prostrated themselves to Allah in the presence of the king. They later became known as Ashabul Kahfi, the people of the cave. Subhanallah.